Why do Brooklyn and Queens have their own public library systems? A. Primarily because they were founded before 1898, when the 5 boroughs consolidated into Greater New York City. That's not to say there haven't been attempts to merge Brooklyn and Queens into the New York Public Library network. But we'll get to that. It might surprise you that the public library model we have today, where any community member can check out books for no charge, is a relatively recent concept. The idea spread around the country in the wake of the Civil War. Before then, libraries typically existed either by subscription, members only, or mainly for the use of scholars. The city's first successful library, the New York Society Library, used the subscription model. Founded in 1754, it is the oldest cultural institution in the city. Even today, non-members can use the reference room, but they can't take books home. When he died in 1886, the former governor Samuel J. Tilden left $2.4 million to establish a free library and reading room in New York. In 1895, Tilden's trust merged with 2 semi-private libraries, founded by John Jacob Astor and James Lennox, to form the New York Public Library. The library's main branch opened at its present site adjacent to Bryant Park in 1911. The lions out front, called Patience and Fortitude by Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia in the 1930s, were originally known as Leo Astor and Leo Lennox. By the turn of the century, the city had several dozen free libraries, many of them operating independently. Mayor Robert Anderson Van Wyck announced a plan to consolidate them, supposedly to control costs. Pressure continued to mount in 1901, when the steel magnate Andrew Carnegie gave $5.2 million to construct 65 new branch libraries, on the condition the city purchase the land and provide for the building's future maintenance. Most of the city's libraries soon merged with the New York Public Library. Brooklyn and Queens did not. When the city then threatened to cut their allocations, on the grounds they would not be acting in the public interest, officials in the other boroughs were incensed. David A. Booty, a former mayor of the now-defunct city of Brooklyn, and the Brooklyn Public Library president, opposed consolidation. Another trustee was even more blunt: Brooklyn has had about enough of the sort of consolidation where her interests become merged or, to speak more accurately, disappear in the interests of Manhattan. Needless to say, the two holdouts won. The idea of a single citywide library system still arises now and then, usually for fiscal reasons. In 2014, Eric A. Ulrich, a Queens councilman, called for a consolidation after a report claimed the city's libraries were on the verge of a maintenance crisis. Conversations with representatives from all 3 systems confirmed that there is little appetite for a merger. Each system's collections and services are tailored to the needs of its communities, a balance that has been honed over decades. The systems frequently work together. For the city's council's budget process each year, all 3 receive a majority of their funding from the city. Representatives agree on a single common issue to press for funding.